coming to the important pillar of our meeting, our guest. First of all, I heartiest welcome to all the guests. Thank you for joining the meeting. I can see a few guests here and I would be lovely to know a little about you. I am going to the name the guest and please unmute yourself and introduce and tell us something about yourself, like your name, what do you do, and where you introduced to this club, and what do you look for to from this club. And here I can see guest Rupam Sharma. I would like to request Rupam Sharma, please unmute yourself and introduce yourself.
I just need to confirm, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, fair enough. So sorry for the inconvenience because of my video. So as my name is Rupam Sharma, I was born and brought up in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. I've done my schooling from CBSE board and I've just completed my graduation and looking forward to get myself into a reputed B school. And I have just came to know about Delhi One Toastmaster Club from one of my colleague who has joined it before 1 year. Now he is working with MNC. But when he told me about these meetings and all these things that runs in meeting, so I was really so much enthusiastic that I have to attend at any cost without means I have to just plug out some hours from my daily busy schedule. And I'm really glad to see you people. And I hope I will join next meeting also. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the meeting. And I also would like to see you as a member in our club. See you.
For sure.
Now, I'd like to request guest Vinayak Goel. Please introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, my name is Vinayak Goel. I am in CF finals and I'm also pursuing CFA. I'm preparing for CFA level 1. Apart from that, I'm in the final year of my BCom. I'm pursuing it from School of Open Learning, Delhi University. And talking about the Toastmasters Club, I got to know about the Toastmasters Club from one of my friends as well, and from the internet as well, from social media as well, because I've always wanted to nourish my communication skills. So I was like, why is there any club where I can meet people and I can speak and I can express myself, like public speaking kind of a platform. So I got to know about this from internet, and and it's my second guest session. In January, I attended for my first guest session, but unable to join as a member. But now I'm willing to join as a member. So yeah, I'm just looking forward for more such fruitful content and wonderful sessions. So yeah, that's pretty much about myself. Thank you.
Thank you for joining the meeting. And I think you are in right place. And I would like to see you as a member in our club as soon as possible.
Yeah, of course.
Now I can see another guest, Gunjan Agrawal. Gunjan Agrawal, can you mute yourself and introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Gunjan Agrawal and well, I'm currently pursuing Masters in English Literature, and being a literature student and pursuing lecturer, I think it's really important for me to enhance my communication skills and get rid of my stage fear. And Toastmaster Bela Agarwal, being my mother, she highly recommended me this platform. She said that it's really, really effective to enhance communication skills, and she is very much aware of my nervousness. So yes, I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gunjan, for joining the meeting. I'd like to member as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Now, I'd like to open the stage for our Toastmaster of the day. Today, our Toastmaster of the day, someone who's very active, energetic, and one of the brilliant members of our club, Toastmaster Anand Kumar. The stage is open now for you, Toastmaster Anand Kumar.
Give me a second. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Sorry, Toastmaster Bela. My apologies. So, my question to you is, and I would like to hear an answer upfront in next 5 odd seconds after I take the question. That what is those 3 words which actually define your brand mission? Anybody who want to answer, unmute yourself and let me know.
TM Anand, can that question be repeated, please?
What are those 3 words which depict your brand mission?
Anand Kumar. Brand name.
That's not right. Okay, why this very question is not because I wanted you to tell me a perfect answer, but rather because I wanted you to go in this very frame of mind where you go and look and reflect back on your very work you are doing. What's that one thing which you are giving to your audience? What's that one thing which you as a person value both personally and professionally? Because market, it's not just branding, it is personal brand. Now, why I'm telling you this story all of a sudden? It's not rather because of you, but rather because of me. For those of you who do not know, my name is Anand, and I have had the privilege of being admitted to lots and lots of universities here in Asia, Europe, America, and several other continents abroad. I've been also an author. I've published a book. I'm also part of Toastmasters International, as you can see, and I've served in various capacities. But every such thing has come with a price. And this very thing is what I call my stories. And the story is that I was rejected, but I was waitlisted by NYU, the university which I got admitted once. I was rejected by Oxford, and I was rejected by University of Chicago. And during this very process, when I was trying to make sure that I get into these universities, I came to know one thing, that you really need to, first of all, learn what you want to do. You need to be good at it. And then it's just not enough. You need to make your personal brand count. You need to make your work count. There are lots and lots of people who do a great job, but if you don't make your audience know what you are doing, it doesn't have any value. You surely must have heard the name of Dhruv Rathi, a YouTube blogger who started with a YouTube channel talking about socio-economics, politics, geography, and things like that. And now he has turned that very thing into a TV host show where he works for DW World channel as a travel vlog. And what to talk about this very lady, V. Kathabu. She's an Oxford graduate, and when she was in Oxford during her second year at Lady Margaret Hall, as you can see in the pictures, is also a very good friend of Malala Yousafzai, the Nobel laureate. She talked about racial diversity. She talked about gender gap, which she experienced during her tenure as a student at Oxford. And she made use of YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram to make an impact on the society, a thing in which she believed determined. She is now a LinkedIn changemaker. She has also written a book, which is soon going to be out in stores by Penguin House. The third, Molly Graham. She's also an Oxford student, and she, during her college years, was always talking about how students can nail their Oxford application, making it more accessible for lower income group to come to Oxford and Cambridge and such universities. She has just got 7,000 to 8,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel, but because of her work, she has now nailed a job, and that is as an admissions counselor at University of Cambridge. So if you are someone who is looking for a job, or if you are someone who is wishing to write a book, or if you are just that other person who wants to be that next host on a TV show, personal branding might be your answer to your questions. Well, just like the 3 words which I said, what are the 3 words in which you can depict your brand mission? There are 3 segments of the meeting. The first is the prepared speech, The second is the table topics, and third is the general evaluation. So in prepared speeches, what normally will happen is that there will be speakers who will come prepared and give a normal 5 to 7 minute speech. The table topics, which is the most like threatening kind of a situation if you are attending Toastmasters for the first time, but a good place to be at, where you will have a chance to speak for 1 to 2 minutes impromptu on a topic given by the table topics master, which is Toastmaster Sajid Jain. And third, the general evaluation, the most efficient section, what I may call as, is the general evaluation where all the people will be evaluated by general evaluator himself and a team of functionaries on the other hand as well. So these are the people, this is the way we are going to proceed further. But in order to do that, let's first call onto the stage all the functionaries who will be taking up the roles. So in this very queue, I'd like to call upon onto the stage the first auxiliary role player that is being played by Toastmaster Roli Sana, the timer of the event, to come onto the stage and introduce her. It's over to you, Toastmaster Roli.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the meeting. Good evening, everyone. I'll be playing the role of the timer today, and my task is to ensure that the meeting proceeds according to the prescribed agenda and nobody exceeds time, because time, as we know, defines our brand the most beautifully. I'll be showing the green card when the role player or the speaker reaches the minimum allotted time, which in cases of our prepared speeches will be 5 minutes, and table topics, it will be 1 minute. And then I'll proceed to the yellow card when the speaker or the role player reaches the mean allotted time. And when the speaker reaches the maximum allotted time, I'll be showing the red card. There is a grace period of 30 seconds allotted to all the role players and speakers, except the table topic speaker of the maximum and the minimum limit. So the 30 seconds grace is allowed for all, except for the table topic speakers who get the 30 second grace only at the maximum side. So they must speak for at least 1 minute. I'll be sharing the cards in my virtual background. So please make sure that when you take the stage, you pin my video and are able to follow the time lapses properly. Thank you so much. I'll be sharing my report during the evaluation segment when the general. And I hope that the meeting proceeds gracefully with her personal brand of matching our time. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Roli. It was wonderful to hear from you. Now it's time to move on to our next functionary, that is language evaluator, and this being played by Toastmaster Devi D. So it's now time to call upon Toastmaster Devi onto the stage and hear from her.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anand. Hope I'm clearly audible.
Yeah, you're perfectly audible.
A warm good evening, everybody. You all know that personal branding is all about how we project ourselves in front of others. And for that, communication is very important. You need to communicate your ideas lucidly and clearly in front of others. That's where you need to have clear grammar. See, improper grammar can affect the ideas that we try to communicate. So, as a language evaluator, my role today is to note down all the good usages of language, like good vocabulary, good usage of sentences, imagery, and so on, as well as track the not so good usages of language, like the misplacement of countable, uncountable nouns, or any misplaced words, and so on. So I'll be keeping track of all this and give a consolidated report at the end of the meeting. And also, there's an important thing that I'm introducing the word of the day. So vocabulary, as you know, is very important for us to come out with more informed writings, to give a more enriched speech, and so on. So the word of the day that I'm introducing today is synergistic. What does this mean? It is the combined power of working together that is greater than the power achieved by working separately. In short, it means to work together. So for example, let me use it in a sentence. There is a synergistic effect when agencies work together, or the two drugs, when synergized together, give a more powerful effect. So I urge everyone here to make use of the word of the day in your speeches, and whoever uses the word of the day will be acknowledged with a thumbs up. So that's it from my end, and I hand over the stage back to the TMOD of today's meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devi. And I am very much confident that, like always, our members are going to come together and we are going to experience this synergistic effect. Now it's time to call upon onto the stage the art counter of the meeting that is being played by Toastmaster Bela Agarwal. So it's over to you, Toastmaster Bela.
Good evening once again. Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Bela Agarwal, and I am the accountants for today's meeting. For the benefit of our guests and members, I'd like to explain the role of the accountant. When we speak, we sometimes use filler words such as or we repeat phrases like such as you know, I mean. A lot of times it's not evident to us, but it is very clear to the listener. The accountant helps us polish our language by identifying these filler sounds. The aim is to use these filler sounds as minimum as possible. I will present my report during the evaluation session. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bela. I hope that our speakers are not going to use so much of ahs and ums during their speeches. Now it's time to call on to the stage the role player, which is feared a lot by many of the audience members, but at the same time, it's fun to hear that role player. It's now time to hear from our listener of the meeting to come onto the stage that is being played by Toastmaster Vishi. So it's over to you, Toastmaster Vishi.
You can develop an effective personal brand only if you listen to people, as that will help you to come up with good marketing techniques. Good evening, everyone. I will be playing the role of listener today. I request you all to be attentive throughout the meeting because of two reasons. Number one, to make the most of the meeting, as it may help you to accomplish your professional life goals. Secondly, to answer the questions that I will ask you towards the end of the meeting in a short quiz. So be very attentive throughout the meeting. I may pick up questions from any part of the meeting. Back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vishi. I hope that whoever you pick during the general evaluation, they will come up with the right answer. So thank you so much for your role introduction. Now it's time to move forward with our prepared speech. So just like the branding thing, we have to set ourselves for the prepared stage. We have to decide what to do, what not to do, and then we can actually slowly build the form. So just like that, we have got a prepared speech segment. And this very first segment, we will have two speakers. And the very first speaker in this very series is Toastmaster George Dev. And he will be giving a speech, which will be evaluated by Toastmaster listener. So I'd like to call upon onto the stage Toastmaster Roli to iterate the speech objectives. It's over to you, Toastmaster Roli.
Thank you. So thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the meeting. Toastmaster George will be presenting his speech from his part, Dynamic Leadership. And this is his level 1, project 3. I'm sorry, I am facing a bit of a challenge. Yes, sorry, thank you. So the purpose of this project is for Toastmaster George to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. It is timed for 5 to 7 minutes. I wish Toastmaster George all the very best. And back to Mr. Toastmaster of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ravi. Now it's time to hear from the first speaker of this evening, that is Toastmaster George. So Toastmaster George is actually working in L&T as planning engineer from last 5 years. He comes from Assam, a very beautiful place. He has studied at NIT Silchar, and now he has been almost 5 years, as I already said, in corporate life, which gives a lots of learning in his words, along with realization, which gives him the courage to pursue bigger dreams in his life. I'd like to call upon on the stage Toastmaster George Day. Discipline or regret? Discipline or regret? Toastmaster George Day.
Thank you, Anand. Thanks a lot. Thank you for the opportunity. Can you hear me? My network is a little bit poor today because I'm in Assam and it is raining, a beautiful
What
day.
we can do is that we can switch off our videos. I would like to ask all of our audience to switch off our videos, and that would help our speaker to save some bandwidth, and we can get this.
Okay. So can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Am I audible to you?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, okay. So a very good evening to fellow Toastmaster and dear guests. Okay. So I know that the situation in Delhi is not good, right? I request all of you to be safe and take the precaution. So the so coming back to the topic, today's topic I have today the topic I'm going to discuss is very beautiful topic. I have selected this topic because this has an impact in my life. Okay, this topic hit me actually when I listened to this topic and implemented in my life. So I wanted that you also I wanted to share with you the same thing, and so that you can get benefited little bit from it. And I can tell you that if you understand this topic and you can listen to it and implement it in your life, it can change in your status of our life. That is called health, wealth, and happiness. Okay. So the topic is that discipline or regret. Dalai Lama, he said that a disciplined mind leads to happiness, or an undisciplined mind leads to suffering. So a discipline is the foundation of happy and successful life. So there is a great writer. He's a speaker too, and a very big businessman. He's one of the multi-billionaire, and you can call billionaire also. He said that discipline is the bridge between the good
Toastmaster George.
He said leadership. Hello, hear me? Hello.
Toastmaster George, you'll have to repeat the last couple of sentences after the Dalai Lama's quote.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can
Toastmaster George, can you hear us?
Toastmaster Anand, am I audible to you?
Your voice is breaking a bit, but if you could just repeat or continue from Dalai Lama point, that was the last point where we could hear you.
Yes. I'm doing this. Yeah. So Dalai Lama said that a disciplined mind leads to happiness, and an undisciplined mind leads to suffering. So discipline is the foundation of successful life and happy life. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes,
George,
Toastmaster George, you
Hello.
can go ahead.
Yeah, I'm seeing nobody is moving. That's why I'm asking this question. There's some problem with this network today.
you can continue with your speech. You're audible.
Yes. Then I was talking about the great businessman. That's called. His name is Jim Rohn. Okay. So he said that discipline is the bridge between goal and achievement. The core things for achieving successful in life is not setting the goals, but learning how to set the goals. Okay, not mastering the art. So not mastering the hello.
Yeah, George, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Toastmaster George, we can hear you. Are you able to see the videos of Toastmaster Sajal or Toastmaster Devashish?
Yes, I can see. I can see video.
So
Yeah.
perhaps you can see their videos and see if you can continue.
Okay, fine. So he said that it is not about the mastering the attributes of leadership. So he said that if knowledge is the power, okay, if knowledge is the fortuner of success, then why do we fall short of the objective? So there are many answers to this question, but there is for me, the only answer is the absence of discipline in life. Okay, so applying the things what we know, that's called self-discipline. So what is self-discipline? What is the meaning of self-discipline exactly? So self-discipline. So after lot of evaluation, understand self-discipline is the ability of doing the important things, whatever, whether we are motivated or not in our life. So we know that the motivation is something that will not exist every time. Okay, we cannot be motivated all the time. So we have to be disciplined in order to successful in our. And once in an interview, got a Sachin to his success. So he said one sentence that it is a consistent practice with discipline. Also, he aligned that if one day he doesn't practice, he can feel the he can feel the difference between the performance. Okay, and you know about that great Michael Phelps, the greatest one of the great. He used to practice 12 hours in a day for in a day for 5 years non-stop with no day, no. Okay, so he is saying that the people with this have done stuff in their life, have done everything in life. Okay, so when I listen things from Ron, who consider as my guru, he's then everything in my life, I lot of life. So I request all of you guys to implement the same in your life and get the benefits from it. Okay, and thank you for having me. Thanks all. That's from my side. Hello.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you,
Anand,
Toastmaster
back to you.
George. Okay.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster George. It was nice to hear from you. And first of all, kudos to you for taking up this very role, because I know it's not easy to come up as a speaker when your network is not so good, but it was a nice try on your end, and who can know that probably better than you, who has been facing network issues in the past. But yeah, I really appreciate your commitment. There is a chat, there is in your chat section, there is a link which is provided. So you can provide the feedback to the speaker by going on the very link. We will just wait for another 20 odd seconds, and timer can just let me know by unmuting herself when that's
Sure,
ready.
sure. Mr. Toastmaster of the meeting, 20 seconds are up.
Thank you so much, Dr. Suri. Now it's time to hear from the second speaker, that is Toastmaster Alok. And in order to call him, let's first go to his speech evaluator, that is Toastmaster Jaya. I would like to call upon on the stage Toastmaster Jaya Gangli to read out the speech objectives. It's over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anand. Today, Toastmaster Alok will be delivering his speech, Level 1, Project 2, which is evaluation and feedback. The pathway for the speech is from dynamic leadership. The purpose of this project for Toastmaster Alok is to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for him to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. I will be presenting my evaluation when the general evaluator calls me during evaluation segment. Wishing Toastmaster Alok all the very best. Timer is requested to time the speech for 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Alok. All the very best.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jaya. First of all, read on the speech objectives. So Toastmaster Alok is currently working in Delhi Metro as an engineer, if I'm right. And he has been a new member, but I can see his energy which flows in both during the meeting and outside the meeting as he takes role and as he takes initiative. I'd now like to call upon on the stage Toastmaster Alok Kuju, and his topic is Toastmaster Alok Kuju. Why is Gibson so upset? Why is Gibson so upset? Toastmaster Alok Kuju.
Before I start my speech, with your timer's permission, I'd just like to say a few words if I have permission.
Sure, sir. Please go ahead.
I would just like to welcome back two of our Toastmaster Jaya and Toastmaster David, who are back in our meetings after such a long time while still battling deadly coronavirus. I thank them for their efforts and welcome back. Timer, you can start the timing.
Sure.
Hey, hello. How are you, man? Long time no see. Remember me? It's me, Gibson. Your favorite guitar. आप तो ईद का चांद हो गया. And also, hello to the lovely people out there. It's so nice to see beautiful humans after such a long time. Well, in case you didn't notice, I am Gibson. Well, that's imprinted on my headstock. But my stupid owner, Alok, decided to give me another name because that's what all famous guitarists do. They name their guitar. But believe me, he knows nothing about guitar. Anyways, he decided to give me a name in memory of his ex-girlfriend, whom he dated for just 2 months. He purchased me intending to come out of his lockdown with a new hobby. But alas, his relationship with me was just as short-lived as his romantic life. Hey Alok, if you're still out there listening to me, I just want to tell you that I am disappointed with you. But I still miss you. I miss the warmth and touch of your soft fingers, the way you used to run them over my strings, just like the way you run them over your girlfriend's hair. You made me feel so special. You marveled at my once glossy, shiny body that reflected of sunlight so beautifully. But now see, I am decorated with dust as a result of a constant neglect. While I spend my days sitting on a corner staring at you all day long. Alok, I still remember all those lies you told yourself that I am going to practice 30 minutes every day. Hell yeah, right, 30 minutes my foot. You haven't even touched me for 6 months straight. Instead, you spend majority of your time with the stupid chess game. I still do not understand what fun do you derive from that black and white chessboard, fun that I am unable to give to you. Please tell me. I once thought I was a prized possession. Now I realize I'm no better than the DJ system or the DSLR camera or half-read books or several untouched books lying scattered across your room. These things are nothing but physical reminders that you lack commitment, dude. No wonder your girlfriend broke up with you in just 2 months. Now deal with it. You see something shiny at a store and imagine all the possibilities that can come from it. But once you get the thing home and realize that it takes effort and care to become good at something, you just move on to a next hobby. Imagine hoping that the new journey with your hobby will be less difficult. But it's the same story every time. If someone gets a glimpse of me while you are on a Zoom meeting, and when they ask, "Wow, Alok, you play guitar," you shamelessly say, "Yeah, I play every now and then." You bloody liar. I'm no different than a picture of you and MS Dhoni hanging on a wall. I have become nothing but an interesting conversation piece for someone who barely has a personality. And yes, I'm not done yet. There is more to come. Before meeting you, I had the aspirations of being taken on a national tour or just being played at the local bar. But hell, at this point, I'm not even lucky enough to be in the background of TikTok videos of his stupid friends. And for your information, you lovely people out there, TikTok was a platform for young adults and teenagers to post funny videos and do dance challenges because no one wants to see a 30-year-old man doing cooking tutorials who can cook nothing but khichdi in a pressure cooker. Yes, Alok, I'm still talking about you. I really wished I had saved my string for someone who could at least play the song, intro to the song, Sweet Child of Mine. I thought with our synergy, we could create such other masterpieces. But you fool, you can't even play the Happy Birthday song on the guitar. You should have just left me hanging on the wall at the guitar center. New guitars would always talk about how being brought home is the greatest thing that can happen to an instrument. Who would have thought that you bringing me home would be the worst day of my life? So I just sit from time to time and watch you enjoy your songs. You become the rock star of your own imaginary world. You imagine performing before a sold out crowd. And then suddenly the guitar solo begins in the song and you go wild and crazy with the virtual guitars. And that's the moment I always wished you'd pick me up and at least try attempt playing it yourself. But no, you never did. Alok, I don't even care if you fumble my strings. I don't care if you produce awful, unpleasant sounds. But I played before you. Please hold me in the arms again. I may be a dead dude lying in the corner of a room, but I have feelings too. So it's a request to all you beautiful humans out there also that if you make someone a part of your life, continue giving them the same respect, time, and attention that once you showed them earlier. Because it is easier to form new relationship, but it takes time, effort, and care to sustain and nurture a relationship. Don't take anyone for granted. So Just steal moments here and there from a busy life to remember the important people in your life. Get in touch with the long forgotten friends and relish the moments you had spent together. Talk to your mama, papa, your siblings, your children, your partner, or any near and dear ones whom you care for. See, I have gathered rust on my strings due to constant neglect, but don't let rust gather in your relationships. So, I am just waiting for someone to come, hold me, and play me again as I gently weep in my corner. Till then, your Gibson signing off. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arnold. It was really, really wonderful to hear you. A big round of applause to our speaker, Toastmaster Arnold. Now, just like the first speaker, it's your time to give the feedback for the speaker, and the link is there in the chat section. We will just take roughly 10, 30 to 40 seconds, and then we will go with the polls because that's the most important task after this. At the same time, the poll is on your screens. You can cast your ballots for the speaker whom you felt was better among the two, although both speeches were best in their own aspects. But I request every one of you to vote. There are still 6 people left. I'll quickly ask them to vote. And at the same time, you switch on your videos because I remember that at one of the sessions I actually heard that if you want to get a job or if you're interviewing for a job, especially in this very online meeting, you should keep your videos on because that helps to build connect with your employer. So this is a tip of personal branding. Try to keep your video on if that's possible. Okay, so we'll end the poll here. Thank you so much. So basically, now it's our time to decide that which are the platforms we are gonna be on, because we have already understood what's the importance of personal branding, and now you are ready that you want to do something about your personal branding. So there are 2 main things we should always be on. First is to have your own website. Now I will talk about this in aspect, and you can of course see the resources out there. You can go on the WordPress and create a free website. And if you even feel that it's going to be hectic, then go onto the YouTube channel named Website Learners, and it's going to just make things really, really easy. The first social media platform I would like to say is that be on Facebook. Now, why that? It's just because of a really, really simple reason. The amount of users it has got as its base. This is something which cannot be matched by Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, or any other platform. Talking about websites, there are other resources which you can look. What you should try to aim at is about the domain name especially. You should try to get a domain name which is www. Let's say apple.com and not something like www.apple.wordpress.something.canada. So this is going to make things difficult for you because in search engine optimization, it's not going to help you. And moreover, let's say if there is a case where there are 2 people of same name, you are not gonna, as an audience, expect that they will have such a long web address. You normally think that it's going to be www.apple.com, www.amazon.com, and that's what we as users normally think of. Just a quick tip on that. The other thing is like which other platform you should be. I would say that be on 3 platforms at the beginning. So you have already got on 2, choose one another. And it not depends. Let's say if you're a journalist, it's a thing where you always have to be in constant update and you have to make people aware. You can be on Twitter. But let's say if you're a photographer, you can be on Instagram because that's the place where people like to scroll a lot and see pictures. But if you are an academician, if you are a researcher, LinkedIn might be the place for you. Talking about search engine optimization, because I'm into academics, I talk a lot about emails and LinkedIn things. So one of the other ways which you can use to portray your personal brand is by using email signature. So what I normally do is that instead of just writing towards the end, yours sincerely, Anand Kumar, I put a graphical e-signature. So that's something which can be embedded in your Gmail settings. So you have got a picture on the other side. Whatever you are doing, you can just mention it towards the right, and towards the bottom, you can mention all the social media handles. So you make it user comfortable and user friendly for the audience. Similarly, if you're using any other platforms, make sure that you have a profile pic and a banner, and that banner is constant across the platforms. Because let's say if you put the face of a dog at one place and you put a face of a polar bear at the other end, you won't be able to match, right? So you don't want to be lost in this whole world. Simply in the same manner, you should also look for featured posts and license and certification in LinkedIn. There's something just like the pin segment of the Facebook and license and certifications, which will help you to get the audience to reach out to you. Masters meeting with the stable topics where you have to be impromptu. I hope that you have now understood where you have to be impromptu, whether it's at Twitter or whether it's at LinkedIn, whether you have to serve your audience. Now it's your time to serve yourself, and it's not time to call onto the stage Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Susan Jack.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anand. Let's have a huge round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anand. I welcome you all to one of the most exciting sessions in any Toastmasters meeting. That is the table topics section or the impromptu speaking section, in which any person who comes up on the stage is given a random topic to speak on for 1 to 2 minutes. Personal branding is all about how we sell or market ourselves or our careers as brands. In table topic section, it all depends on how we sell or market our ideas or thoughts in front of an audience. Before starting the session, I would like to say 3 things that I want you to keep in mind. The first thing is the time limit. The time limit for the table topic is 1 to 2 minutes. There is no grace limit of 30 seconds in the below section of the time limit, while there is a grace period in upper section. So you have to speak for minimum 1 minute to qualify and maximum 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Beware that there would be no warning given in the upper limit, that is 2 minutes 30 seconds. Only a red card would be shown at 2 minutes, but you can go on till 2 minutes 30 seconds accordingly. Second thing that I want you to keep in mind is the word of the day. The word of the day today is synergy, which means that extra power is achieved by 2 or more elements instead of their own. I urge everyone to use the word of the day as much as possible in your speeches. And lastly, I request everyone to switch on their videos to have a more encouraging and interactive table topic section. A small tip that I want you to keep in mind before starting the table topics is, if you ever feel that it's a topic that you can't speak on or you are just completely blank, just take a 15-second breather and calm yourself down and think just about those words that are given in the table topic. Today, the table topics are very simple. It's mostly the taglines of famous brands. So I urge everyone to come up and participate in the table topic section. So let's begin the section.
First of all, I would like to invite a member or a Toastmaster to show our guest about how the table topics is conducted. Anybody who would like to participate, or I can pick randomly. Okay, so Toastmaster Devashish, you can choose a number between 1 and 12.
7.
7. So you have chosen the brand idea. Your tagline is, your topic is, an idea can change your life. Toastmaster Devashish, an idea can change your life.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Sajal. So indeed, an idea can change our lives in so much ways. I would like to state this with an example of an industrialist tycoon of India, Ratan Tata, who had an idea of making India more prevalent, more well established with his philanthropy, rather than becoming one of the richest persons in the country. So an idea can actually be very intriguing. It can make a person believe in something that he has never believed in. It can actually make a person what he never thought of that he could be. But yeah, at the same time, there are ideas that can also break a person in several ways. So breaking a person in several ways can be a choice that a person has taken, or he has delayed the timing, he has delayed his he has delayed doing something that he should have done before, and he didn't value the time. So ideas do change a person's life, but that idea should come in a limited time frame, and people should value time with the idea coming in simultaneously. Moreover, I would like to say that ideas, even the idea phone, even the idea company, it was one of the greatest companies at one time. But now, as it didn't change, the metamorphosis didn't go well with that company. It didn't change its policies with time. Thereby, Airtel, Jio, they took over the telecom industry, and today we don't go for idea, we go for Airtel, we go for Jio, even we go for Vodafone, but idea is something that we don't go for. But yeah, idea can actually change a person's life. I think idea company should have also opted for this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devashish, for such a wonderful articulation of an idea. So next, I would like to invite a guest on the stage. Anybody who would like to go can raise their hands, or just guest Vinayak. Okay. So you can choose a number between 1 to 12, except 7.
6.
So your topic, your brand that you have chosen is Apple. Your topic is think different. Guest Vinayak, think different.
Right. Thank you for bringing this topic. Think different. That's the tagline of Apple. As you know, that the biggest company in the world with more than $2 trillion of market capitalization, right? In which I think so, the market capitalization of India is, I think, around $3 billion. Sorry, $3 trillion. Correct me, $3 trillion. And the Apple is almost the size of many countries. So what I'm trying to say is, when Steve Jobs started when Steve Jobs started Apple, he thought differently. He thought differently. That is the reason the Apple is here. That is the reason most of the people, most of the category of people use Apple as a brand image, as a status symbol, right? So the idea is the whole idea start with thinking different. Even if you are doing a single work, even if you want to do something different, even if you want to stand out from most of the people, you have to think different. So not with the company, not with the brand. You thinking different is also applicable in our daily life as well, right? So Apple is not only a big company in the area of mobile phones. It's also a status symbol for most of the people. If we talk about the laptops, if we talk about the iPods, if we talk about the iPads, the smoothness which you feel is altogether of different level, right? So I think thinking different will make the task little bit easier for all of us. And yeah, it definitely gives us the way in which we really want to go. And yeah, I think so. Thinking different will make the task easier for all of us. That's the case. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guest Vinaya. Come to think of it, what Gavilion Manath has written in chat box, I was exactly thinking about that quote when I heard your speech, that people who are crazy enough to believe they can change the world are the ones who actually do. So that was a wonderful topic. Next, Gavilion Manath, would you like to come up?
Yeah, sure.
So you can choose a number between 1 to 12 except 6 and 7.
I'll go with 8.
8. Okay. So your brand is Honda. The topic is Gavilion Manath, the power of dreams. The power of dreams, Gavilion Manath.
I'd love to have a 15-second time for thinking, and I'm taking that.
Seconds are up.
Okay, so I'll begin now. So my topic is the power of dreams. So here I like to one thing. The first thing that came to my mind when I heard this topic was that a dream helps us prioritize. So what a dream helps us or provides us is that it provides us a hope for the future, that okay, this is something I want to achieve in the future, and it provides us with a power in the present. So basically the present is what we have control on, and in order to achieve the hope, we need to work in the present. We need to uh, basically warm ourselves up so that we can achieve the dream we have seen. So like taking my example, I aspire to become somewhere near to Steve Jobs, like what he was. And I think the sixth topic would have been more coherent with me, more related to me, but no problem. So like I aspire to become somewhat like him, and I aspire to become a part of the Apple company and make a change like Tim Cook as his successor is doing. So what the I have the power in my present, and I know that, and my dream is something I've already told you. So what I'm doing right now is that I'm making an effort to do whatever I can so that I'm able to achieve what I have dreamt of. I'm learning all sorts of programming language. I'm getting into computers. I am learning about that world. I'm learning about machines. I am acquainting myself with the world of machine learning and AI. And when in a few years down the line, I'm sure I'll be able to make up to the level that requires us to become a part of the Apple company. And so here I'd like to emphasize that it is the dream that helps us give us a goal for the future. Every person who comes to this planet comes with a goal, that okay, this is something I want to achieve. And after that, after achieving this, because no one's there on this planet all the time, so after basically this is the main reason why I have come here, and I have understood that the main reason why I'm here is to make a change in the computer field, in the technology field. And that's why I think the power of dreams is something that is giving me a goal, that is helping me prioritize. Like I'm not uh, like I want to become a software engineer, so right now I'm not focusing on art and dance. I'm just focusing on programming. So this is something we call as prioritize, and this is what the power or the persuasiveness that the dream provides to each one of us. So once we have a dream, once we have a goal, they help us prioritize on our things, and then we are able to achieve that dream of ours surely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Gavill and Manath, for such an amazing take on the topic. I remember that quote by Paulo Coelho that it is the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting, and that's exactly what your whole table topic speech was on. So spot on it was. So anybody else who would like to come up next? Toastmaster Pooja, would you like to go?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you have to choose a number between 1 to 12, except 6, 7, and 8.
4.
4. Okay. So your topic is, your brand is Reebok, and your tagline is, I am what I am. Toastmaster Pooja. Toastmaster Pooja, I am what I am.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sajal. Good evening, everyone. So I'll talk about only what I am. It has been a long time. I was earlier the member of this club, almost 2 years, and I was used to attend the meeting on the regular basis, and all of a sudden, I take a break, 3 to 4 months, but this Toastmaster, I was like. I was used to attend the meeting. So today, in every Friday, uh, I was once think about the meeting. That's why I am not able to join. I try. uh, it gives me a lot, even to communicate in English. I remember I was uh, even don't able to speak in English, and this platform gave me opportunity to communicate in English, and as well as to build up the personality. So it's here I want to tell that this I am facing some challenges to attend the meeting, but uh, uh, to join today the meeting, it feels like again I am what I was and earlier. The same atmosphere in the meeting, and today also I'm feeling the same. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster Sajid.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pooja. I think Toastmaster Anand would really like to commend you today because you were able to have an effective personal brand for yourself in this topic. So next, who would like to come up? Okay, guest Gunjan, can you switch on your video as well if you can see you? Okay, great. So you can choose any number from 1 to 12 except 6, 7, 8, and 4.
2.
So your brand is Adidas and your topic is impossible is nothing. Guest Gunjan, impossible is nothing.
Okay. First of all, I need 50 seconds to calm down. All right. Yeah, I think I'm ready. Okay. So impossible is nothing. I think this quote, if like it can be perceived in two manners, like easier said than done, and it's really possible. So if I think about it's easier said than done, then people may think about that. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting nervous. So it's like people may think that something is possible, but their actions don't align with it. But if I take my example, then like I'm running a business of my own. And initially, when my parents recommended me to start the business, it was really hard for me because I was completing my high school during those days. So preparing for my board examinations and then running a business of my own, it was quite an impossible task. But thinking of the fact that yes, the business is my passion, and that yes, I can do it if I take out some time, then of course both of these things could be possible. So yes, I think that if you put your actions and if you dream and if you are disciplined about it, then anything is possible. And even impossible, which you think at the first place is not possible, then it becomes possible for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guest Gunjan. You were actually able to summarize impossible word that itself says I am possible. So next, who would like to come up? Anybody? Who would... Avishi, would you like to go? So you can choose any number from 1 to 12 except 2, 4, 6, 7, 8.
Number 1.
Number 1. Okay. So your brand is L'Oreal. Your topic is Toastmaster Avishi, because you are worth it. Because you are worth it, Toastmaster Avishi.
Thank you, Sajal, for giving this wonderful topic. There are many people who have potential to achieve a lot in their life, but they lack self-esteem. They underestimate their power. But the biggest thing that I have learned in my life is to realize your worth. I remember I was never into coding, but because I wanted to be in hardware sector in my college. But just before 6 months of the internship season, I discovered that I'm passionate about coding, and I was not sure whether that time will be enough to get a internship offer at an MNC. I talked to my father, who is storehouse of my motivation, and he reads books. And he read a book known as Secret. It's a bestseller that is on the power of optimism. And he made me realize that every person in the world has potential to do whatever he wants to do. And he always used to send me motivational quotes every day in the morning, and that motivated me to get a good internship offer. So the biggest lesson of my life is not underestimate your power, because there are many people who have done wonders. I will take example of Henry Ford, who he only studied till class 6, but when he saw the horse carriage, he had a dream that he wanted that horse carriage to move without the horse, and he was successful in developing car. We all know Ford company. So I will just request you all to not underestimate yourself. Just believe in yourself, because you are worth it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Avishi. I would like to take a small quote from your table topic only, that you were the storehouse of our motivation today. So next, who would like to come up? Anybody? Toastmaster Alok, would you like to go next?
Yes, sir.
So you can choose any number from 1 to 12 except 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8.
10.
So your brand is Amazon. Your topic is Toastmaster Alok. Work hard, have fun. Work hard, have fun. Toastmaster Alok.
I really think that today's theme, personal brand, my take on it is slightly different. I think personal brand is something hugely overrated for me. It suggests that you can advance your career by creating a reputation. I say Don't be a fool. A reputation or personal brand is something you don't fully control. A reputation is nothing more than the perception that other people have of you. So for me, it's not something you directly can control, but you can influence what other people think by two things: by doing great work in whatever you do, and by treating people well. So do your work, become great at what you do, and you will see that reputation will follow suit. I think reputation is more of a external thing, and character is something internal. So keep working on your character, keep doing get great work, keep treating people well, and you will do great in whatever you do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alok. I never thought that this table topic could have a message also that character is more important than reputation. So anybody who would like to go next? Do we have time? Okay, guest Rupam, would you like to go next?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So you can choose any number from 1 to 12 except 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 4 and 10.
Oh, I will go with 5.
Okay. So your brand is LG. Your tagline is Guest Rupam. Life is good. Life is good. Guest Rupam.
Okay, thank you very much for giving me such a lovely topic. So, first of all, I greet good evening to everyone. So, as the line says, life is good. So, of course, what really comes in my mind is your life is good as your mindset. So, I want to really lay emphasis on the word life is good by connecting with your mindset, that how your mindset is towards your life. From the childhood, we have been provided, means we have been given education, and we have been provided education to fit in this society. But what really had not been laid emphasis on is how to think and how well to organize yourself in a way you love your life. We have been seeing from last 2-3 years, it was a pastime where people really used to love their life, used to love the work they do. But this time people are really struggling, as it is a COVID. Apart from this pandemic, people are really struggling to face the challenges that really they have opted for, and at last they are losing their life by committing suicide. But I really want to lay emphasis that life is good if you really see the things from all the aspects, because I think if God has given you life, so there is a reason for that. And if you have found that reason, then I don't think that anybody is lucky other than you in this world. And of course, having said that, it is as good as your mindset. So of course, your life will be not good, but the best if you are mentally healthy and physically as well. But the most important thing is you have to be really mentally healthy, and especially in this tough time, because as it is said that not means none, that means there is no storm in nature last forever. So life is good, and thank you very much.
Thank you to guest Rupam. I think during these times, it's important to keep a positive mindset and life will become good. So thank you for such a wonderful topic. I would request the tech master to launch the polls for the best table topic speaker.
There are 10 people who have voted. They are still to vote, like it was one of these past ballots. There are still 2 more people. We will just wait for over 10 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for such a wonderful table topic section. I would like to hand over the stage back to our wonderful Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. It was really nice of uh, yeah, it was really very nice to hear all the table topic speakers speaking on the stage. Now it's time to hear about alerts, right? Because just a second. Uh, yeah, so it's time for us to hear about alerts because if we want to make our brand count, alert is what we need to be sure of. So what you can do basically is that Google has this very feature of called Google Alerts. So it's www.google.com/alerts. So when you will go on that, what you can basically do is that let's say if you're interested in a company, let's say that of Apple. So you can just type over there Apple, and you can set an alert for it. So basically, if anyone would be searching with the term Apple on Google website, you will get a notification, let's say in a day or in a week or in a month, based upon what's your requirement. What you're seeing right now at the very bottom, that is alert preview. This is the kind of image which you will get. And towards the top is what you can actually adjust the settings. So instead of typing for a company or for a keyword, what you can do is that you can put your own name or your own keywords. So you basically know what are the keywords which actually help you, help the audience get to you, and so that you can work on it and come up higher in the search engine optimization, and then you will be able to come as more visible person or as an influencer, just as a brand. To keep my story short, there's another very good search engine which is called LinkedIn. So what I approach my search engine to be is in two ways. The first is that whomever I connect with, I only connect with those people who I really care about their work, about what they do, and what they value for. There are people who will just you will connect with, but they will not be so interactive with you on LinkedIn. But there will be people who you will connect with, and they will give you the opportunities. Maybe they might not give you the opportunities directly, but by their feed or by their comment, they might lead you to someone else who will help you to advance in your career. I've got few of those people, and this is exactly what happens from your left towards the right. This helps in search engine optimization, and there's a professor from Lancaster University, a professor emeritus, so you can understand. And if he's following me after just in my beginning career, he sees some value in my content. And if you are providing content for your audience, there is a good chance that from after a consistent time frame, you will get the results which you want, whether it's in a professional life, your personal life, or your academic life. So now talking about the alerts, it's now for us to get alerts about what we did right and what we did wrong. And it's time to call upon onto the stage Toastmaster Devashish Pandey. So Devashish is actually a pass out from BIT, Vellore, and he's working in Cognizant right now. He aims to bring reform in education and employment within the country and abroad. And his hobbies include traveling, poetry, and reading. I'd like to welcome onto the stage Toastmaster Devashish to carry forward the session.
Thank you, Anand, for showing Jatin's face and my name. No issue. It's fine. I'm just kidding.
Your both faces are very, very similar.
It's okay. It's fine. So, good evening, all the Toastmasters and the guests. So, I have always believed that personal branding is an ironic phrase. So, how is it ironic? Is that we earn this by giving more, by the art of giving. Toastmaster follows this very beautifully by having an evaluation section where synergistically all the evaluators provide their evaluation, their suggestions to all the participants and the speakers, thereby giving them a chance of self-evaluation and introspection. This evaluation section would consist of evaluation of the speakers, all the two speakers, the evaluation section by the auxiliary role players, which are the listener, timer, language evaluator, and the R counter. At the end, as a general evaluator, I will be presenting the overall evaluation of the meeting myself. So beginning with Toastmaster Roli, who is the speech evaluator of the first speaker. Toastmaster Roli, kindly present your evaluation of the first speaker, Toastmaster George Dev. Over to you, Toastmaster Roli.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator. Today, Toastmaster George Dev Burman's speech was a synergistic alignment of tenacity, determination, and commitment. I was very happy that he had chosen a topic. Able to hear me earlier? I'm not sure. Okay. So I was very happy with
Toastmaster Roli, if you would like to check your mic once because it's not audible.
Yeah, that's what I was actually asking, whether I was audible or not.
Yeah, there's some problem with the mic actually, I think.
Okay, I'll begin again. If you
Yeah,
can
thank
hear me now. Thank you so much. So Toastmaster George's speech today was a synergistic alignment of tenacity, determination, and commitment. I was very glad that he had chosen a relatable topic and something that probably all of us struggle with, at least I do. Discipline and what we regret when we are not so disciplined. There are a couple of things that I would like Toastmaster George to do again. And the first thing is that no matter what happens, continue with your speech. Very often, sometimes when the technology is not on our side, or sometimes when the memory is not on our side, and either people cannot hear us or we can't remember what we had written, we tend to leave the speech unfinished. That's something that we should just never ever do. The second thing that I would like Toastmaster George to do is coming up with these kind of topics which are relatable for all of us, and they are simple to understand and it is easy to follow. What I would like Toastmaster George to start doing is ensure that the project objective of research is adhered to by making sure that we have some data and we have sources of those data also covered. For example, if maybe 90% of the people are found in the world to be indisciplined, or they give up on their New Year resolutions. So those kind of data with credible sources, that would really help. These kind of interesting facts would also ensure that I, as an audience, stay engaged. The third thing that I would like Toastmaster George to do is have some kind of stories woven in with the structure, so that finally when he arrives at his call to action, it is extremely specific and tells me how I can be more disciplined in future. What should I concentrate on? So continue with the tenacity and determination to deliver speeches. Make sure that it is structured. Make sure that it has data and the project objectives are adhered to. This is what I would like Toastmaster George's speeches to be in future. Thank you so much. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roli, for your detailed evaluation. Hope Toastmaster George would definitely work on that. Moving next to the second speech evaluator of the day, who would be evaluating the speaker, Toastmaster Alok Kujur. So Toastmaster Jaya Ganguly is herself a teacher, and I hope that Toastmaster Alok would be enlightened by her suggestions and the approach she would be giving. So over to you, Toastmaster Jaya Ganguly, for the evaluation of Toastmaster Alok's speech.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Toastmaster Alok, his speech had an interesting title. Alok brought life to his speech by using a guitar as a prop, which was well used. He weaved the storyline around the guitar and connected well with the audience, resonated well with the audience with the strings of life. His speech had a key message aligned with the content, good transition. If the dialogues could have been used with more emotion, it would have been better. Voice modulation could have brought more vocal variety. It could have added to the vocal variety. And to connect with the audience, less of hand gesture and more focus on the camera. With these suggestions, he can surely do much better. I have taken the approach, CRC approach. So the recommendation is focus more on the camera, lesser hand gestures. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaya. Hope your suggestion would enlighten Alok and bring colors to his life. So I would suggest to rest of the evaluators to use the word of the day, synergistic, and then bring their evaluations so that it can encourage other speakers and the participants to use the word effectively. So coming next to the auxiliary roles. So the first one is the listener of the day, who is as empathetic as the role demands, Toastmaster Avishi, who would be presenting the role of listener of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Avishi.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, everyone. So I want you all to please switch on your videos if possible. And when I ask questions, just unmute yourself and answer the questions if you know the answer. So what was the title of Toastmasters George's speech? Anyone? Unmute yourself. Except
Discipline or regret.
Yes, correct. In Toastmaster George in his speech mentioned Dalai Lama said, "A disciplined mind leads to dash. Undisciplined mind leads to dash." Do you remember? Anyone? Disciplined mind leads to what?
Disciplined mind leads to happiness. Undisciplined mind leads to suffering.
Yes.
Sorry if I interrupted somebody.
No, thank you so much. It's correct. And a businessman, Jim Rohn, said, "Discipline is the bridge between two things, between dash and dash." Anyone remembers? Discipline is bridge between two things. Anyone? Toastmaster George, you can answer because I think. Hello? Okay, I'll give the answer. It's
yes, goals
goals
yes, hello.
Yes, goals and accomplishment. Yes. Hello?
Yes, goal.
Okay,
It is goal and achievement.
Okay, achievement. Okay, thank you so much. What is the speech title of?
Thank you.
What was the title of the speech for Toastmaster Alok?
Why is Gibson so upset?
Yes, correct. Toastmaster Jaya. Which prop Toastmaster Alok used in his speech? I think everyone knows the answer to that question.
Guitar.
Okay. And Toastmaster Alok told his guitar the amount of time he's going to give to it. Anyone remembers the time? How many minutes? 10, 20,
30
40?
minutes per day.
Okay, correct, Toastmaster Jaya. And instead of giving time to guitar, Toastmaster Alok gave time to which game? Some A game that has black and
Chess.
white. Yes, yes, correct. Toastmaster Anand asked us to use some platforms to build personal brand. So which platform he encouraged us to build?
WordPress, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I don't remember more.
Yes, yes. Javeli and Mannat answered it correct. Now the questions are from tagline. What's the tagline of Reebok? Except Toastmaster Pooja and Toastmaster Sajal. Anyone? I am what I am.
I am, yeah, sorry.
Okay, okay. Tagline of Apple.
Think different.
Correct. Tagline of Idea. I think everyone knows that. Tagline.
Can change your life.
Yes, correct. So Gavilian Mannat aspires to be like.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, correct. The tagline of Honda.
Chase your dream.
Mm,
Chase your dreams.
Power of dreams.
yes, yes, correct. The tagline of Adidas.
Impossible is nothing.
Correct. The tagline of Amazon. It's a trait that
work hard.
Yes, work hard, have fun. Answered it partially correct. Okay, so Toastmaster Devashish mentioned that personal branding term is ironic. Why? Anyone knows the reason? There's a beautiful reason that he mentioned. Anyone?
Because reputation is external and character is internal.
Okay.
That got mixed up, I think.
Yeah, because we get it more by giving. Okay, so thank you all for answering these questions, and you all were attentive listeners. It was a fun to conduct this session. Thank you. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Avicii, for such an interactive session and being so clear with your words and also being a very good listener throughout. Next is the language evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Devi D, who would be presenting the good usage of the word and the bad usage of the word or words that weren't used properly. So over to you, Toastmaster Devi, for your evaluation of as a language evaluator of the day.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. So here is my language evaluation report, and it has been a synergistic meeting with three of our speakers, that is Toastmaster Anand, Toastmaster Roli, and Toastmaster Devashish, using the word of the day. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Now, firstly, coming to the good usage of words, there were a lot of good usage of words. Like Toastmaster Anand started off with personal branding. Then he gave us very good words which we can use in the personal domain, personal branding domain, like SEO, domain name, email signature, keywords, and so on. Toastmaster Bella used polish your language. Roli used an interesting phrase like synergistic, alignment, tenacity, and determination. Toastmaster Avishi used self-esteem, storehouse of information. George brought in discipline is the foundation of successful and happy life. Alok had a lot of interesting phrases like glossy body, prized possession, background of TikTok videos, khichdi in a pressure cooker, and he also brought in the analogy of strings, and he used the same thing as prop, then dead wood in a corner, and so on. Toastmaster Jaya used the phrase life to speech. Toastmaster Sajal also had some good phrases like market our ideas. It is possibility of dream come true that makes life interesting. Devashish used the word philanthropy, intriguing. Gavalier Mannat used the phrase like prioritizing dreams, give goal for future, more coherent, persuasiveness. And again, Devashish used the word enlightened colors to life. Now, there were very little, scope for improvement, but still I'll point out the improvement areas. Like one of the speaker use has an impact. So you should use it in a past tense as had an impact. Then one of the speaker use at one time. More appropriate word would have been long time back or once upon a time. Then one of the speaker used idea started. It for the context, the word better word would have been idea starts with. Then another speaker used I was used to attending. So it could have been used as I'm used to attending. I used to attend, or I was used to attending. Either of these phrases you can use. So that's it from my part, and I hand over the stage back to the general evaluator of today's meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devi. Of course, we all would keep that in mind, whatever the words were good, and we will check next time before using any bad usage of the words. So coming next to the person who was actually the savior of the day by playing two roles that wasn't assigned, those weren't assigned to her. The first one was the acting president, and the second one is the R counter of the day. So Toastmaster Bela, I welcome you for giving the detailed evaluation for the R counter of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Bela.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devashish. Good evening once again. Now I am presenting my report. Everyone did a very good job. So a big round of applause for all of them. Now I am coming with my report. Toastmaster Anand, Toastmaster Sajal, Toastmaster Roli Shina, and Toastmaster Devi didn't use any filler sounds. Toastmaster Alok Kujur used 3 times us and 2 times long pause. Toastmaster Jaya Ganguly used 3 times us and 1 time long pause. And I would like to say about Toastmaster Dave George. I think he had some internet problem, so I had a little difficulty to counting the R's and arms. But as much as I could hear, he used 2 times us, and rest was fine. So that's all of my sides. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Devashish.
Thank you, our counter of the day, or rather I would say the savior of the day. Moving next to the timer of the day, who knows how time can change everything. And she herself is one of the best speakers here in the club and has always been guiding us with how to use time wisely and never fall in the trap of speaking more, but speaking concisely and appropriately. Over to you, Toastmaster Roli.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Toastmaster Roli, I would like to check with your audibility because I think there's some problem.
Is this okay? Are you able to hear me now?
Can you please speak a little louder because I think there is some problem with the connectivity. So if you would be a little clear.
Okay, let me switch to the other device. Just give me half a second.
Yeah, sure. Let's have a check now.
Is this audible?
Yeah, it is perfect. You can go on now. Thank you.
Okay, first, okay, yeah, got it. I believe you said that I'm audible now, right?
Yes, Toastmaster Roli, you're completely audible.
Okay, I will just share my sheet which has the timings for everyone. Okay, not this. Okay, I hope everyone can see the timings. So I just like to point out that there were several people who stayed within the time limit. For example, our Sergeant at Arms and the auxiliary role players while introducing themselves, except for the language evaluator. Then the time that we were inviting these speakers to stage. Uh, Toastmaster George's speech went a little beyond the limit, but I tried to give him a 30 seconds grace. Then I gave him a 1 minute grace, but after that also it took a little while extra and concluded finally in 8 minutes and 28 seconds. Toastmaster Alok took 7 minutes and 12 seconds to complete his speech, and I really apologize for our dog having gone berserk. The Toastmaster of the meeting had lovely slides and took a little extra time while sharing those with us. So far, he has taken about 16 minutes and 36 seconds. And the listener was a tad exceeding the time by 5 minutes and 57, like so 27 seconds extra taken over there. The language evaluator did a very good job of finishing within the time limit. So this was done under 3 minutes and 6 seconds. And the R counter took 30 seconds. And I would like to finish the report here. Thank you so much. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Oli. So all of you who cross the time limit, please try to be well within time limit, because timing is something that is very important when we are speaking or delivering any kind of speeches. So I would like, I would now like to request to Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Anand to launch the poll for best speech evaluator first, which I missed in between. Uh, I would request the timer of the day to please let me know when 45 seconds are over.
They are still okay. There is one person who needs to vote, and if he or she could vote, that is yes. We will end it right after the taxi.
Are we done, Toastmaster Anand?
Yeah, for evaluator, that's done.
Okay, so now we will launch the poll for the best auxiliary role player.
Yeah, here it is.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. Toastmaster Anand, kindly let me know when we are done with this.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Are we done? Actually, you're not audible.
Yeah, polls are done. We are good to go.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Anand. So hereby, I, Devashish Pandey, the general evaluator of the day, would be presenting the overall evaluation of the meeting. So starting with the second quote of mine, what I believe personal branding to be. It is a phrase that is a connotation to the metamorphosis a person goes through from being an unknown to a known through a process of integrity. Following this integrity, Toastmaster Anand started the meeting quite well, who was also who has also taken two roles like Toastmaster Bela, and he presented both the roles quite beautifully. First with Sergeant and Arms, where his start was quite intriguing with a video being displayed and showing that how Toastmaster is a beautiful path for any person who would like to continue with the oratory journey. Everything was very well explained about the meeting, how it will be going. The privacy policies were explained quite well. Overall, then there is one suggestion I would like to give to Toastmaster Anand, that you could also ask yourself that whether you are audible or not. Being a tech master, of course, it's your responsibility to know whether others are audible, but you can also ask once, because I think there was a crack in your voice in between. So whenever you start, you can just ask once that whether you are audible or not. Overall, it was as sublime as the reek of petrichor, I would call it, that the role as a sergeant and arms. Starting next was Toastmaster Bela, who was the acting president. So she introduced the theme very well in her own way, with a smile on her face, which was really intriguing, and it brought liveliness in the session. Would have explained a little bit more to the guests that how Toastmaster can develop their oratory journey. But overall, it was very well addressed and very well presented to all the guests and the Toastmasters. So thank you to the acting president for playing this role at the last moment. Coming to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anand, you were very active throughout the week, not only in the meeting, which is very encouraging for all the participants who are attending the meeting. So kudos to you for that. You, at the last moment, you pinged everyone, you reminded that the meeting is going to start, you all can join, everyone can join. So it was also very intriguing and you were very enthusiastic about the meeting. So keep up with that. You were interacting throughout the meeting, even at the start. As you came in to the meeting, you started interacting with all the people, with all of you, all the guests you don't know, the people you don't know. So it was quite enthralling and interesting. You made the meeting quite interactive throughout. You started with a catch. You were very catchy throughout. Your presentation was quite catchy, and you always tried to present what people would like to hear about the personal branding. So it was quite intriguing. So you could add this, that whenever a participant is speaking, you could ask them yourself first that whether he is audible or not, or whether there's some connection issue. So you did that later, but you didn't do that with the speech of Toastmaster George. You explained the segment very beautifully, and you were very supportive with all the speakers and all the presenters and everyone who was participating to speak. And you made it very informative by introducing several personal branding platforms like LinkedIn and other social handles. Coming to the speech evaluator, Toastmaster Roli, you were really, as always, you were very elegant with your role, and you suggested quite well that whatever the speaker needs to develop himself with, and you followed the CRC approach. So kudos for that.
Sorry to interrupt, but you're on mute.
I'm so sorry. From when you couldn't hear me?
Just after the speech evaluator.
Okay, so Toastmaster
So the
Roli,
second speech, yeah. So my recommendations you would like to give now.
okay, so for you the recommendations are not as such, but I think that CRC's approach would have been followed a little bit better, so that Toastmaster George could have been a little bit encouraged because he was facing some network issues. Toastmaster Jaya was completely fine with her evaluation, and her CRC approach was followed beautifully. Toastmaster Avishi presented her role very beautifully and was very interactive throughout. the suggestion I would like to give her that if you are asking a question, please ask the question from the part which is audible. So Toastmaster George's part wasn't audible, so people weren't able to answer that. So you could check on that, please. Toastmaster Devi, who was the language evaluator, I think she played her role quite well, and she was very enthusiastic about the listening to the words and delivering whatever she knows about the language. But I think she would have reminded people more about that this word has to be used. I think it wasn't reminded uh, much. Therefore, people didn't use the word as they should have been. But she started very gracefully, and she mentioned in detail that how many times the words were used, and how many words were used, how many good words were used, and the bad words also. She explained quite well. The R counter of the day explained played her role quite well, and the topic was explained, means the all the R's and arms were counted and presented beautifully. Toastmaster Rowley played the timer's role quite gracefully and did it in the easy way by presenting the screen. So a table topic master, Toastmaster Sajal, played her role. I think this was the best way to play a table topic master's role. She ticked all the points, all the activities that she had to do. She introduced the segment, she introduced the word of the day, she requested everyone to switch on the video. The topics were easy. And also she did something very different by asking the Toastmaster to speak first to know whether for the guest to know that whether the how to speak in the table topic segment. Overall, it was a very it was like a butter melting on an oven. It was so much in a flow, the table topic segment. Apart from that, I would like to say kudos to all the table topic speakers who spoke so well. Everyone was very well presenting. And at the end, I would like to say that you brand yourself by the way you speak. So I would request everyone, all the guests, to join Toastmasters and be the part of the journey of the oratory through the Toastmasters. Thank you. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. I would just like to highlight one thing. That, do you know, like, how many of the people actually sitting in this room right now know about what you care for, what you do, and what you value in life? Right now, we are somewhere completely around 40, 50 people. Anybody would like to guess that how many of these people sitting in the room actually know what they do and what they value in their life, professionally or academically? Okay, no answers.
So right now I'm just 13, so I have not quite thought of my professional world right now. But yes, till now my dream and the thing I think I value the most and I am actually made for is computer programming. And this is something I value right now. I'm not sure about the future, but yes, for the time being, this is something I would like to go for, and this is my specialty these days.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bandhan. So, so this is just your story. Not just expand this and take the area surrounding 10 kilometers of radius from your home. How many of people would be knowing you, what you do, what you actually care for? And not just expand this very particular thing to the very stage where you are at a world platform. There are lakhs and lakhs of people, thousands and thousands of people. You have got a story which is one among thousands and millions and billions and trillions. Will you choose to share that story with that someone else? Will you choose to share something which only you have experienced in your whole life? with your audience. You are a gem. And personal branding is about you. It is personal. Choose to be personal on these platforms and be human. Make those connections. Don't be a bot, but rather be a human who feels the same emotions, who feels the same tragedies, who feels the same enthusiasm. And that's where your human and your personal brand will take the lead. So my call to action is that tell your story, be a master, and craft before starting your personal brand. Thank you so much. If anyone would like to get in conversation with me, feel free to do that. And here's just few tips which I'd love to leave you for. The slides will be on, and the presiding officer can take the stage for the time being. It's over to you, Toastmaster Bela.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. It feels great to have had a successful meeting. All the members and guests did a great job. And now is the time to launch the poll, for which I would like to request Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Anand, to please launch the poll.
Presiding officer, I don't think we will need that. That's something which is already pre-decided by virtue today.
I didn't get you.
We will not be required to launch the polls. The results are with us.
Okay. So can I take the feedback?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Now it is time to receive some valuable feedback from our guest. So I would like to guest Rupam Sharma. Please give your feedback.
First of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. As I'm a guest, so I was very much glad to join you people and to have to attend the meeting that I never had before, to be very honest. And the way that Toastmaster Alok presented his speech, so I was really impressed by him, and it was really it was really impressing with fun, and it was really interacting the way he uses the prop and all these things. And at last, I would really hope to join this meeting again on next Friday, and it was really helpful, and I'm sure that I will get out the thing that I really want to improve in my personality. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Rupam, for this such a valuable feedback from your side. Now I'd like to Vinayak Goel. Please give your feedback.
It's been a lovely session for me. Uh, it always feels nice when you connect yourself with such a good set of people, right? And when I heard about a Toastmasters, there was a thing in my mind that there is something like Toastmasters, and there are people associated with that, and they're doing great. I mean, if you want to nourish your personality, overall soft skills, then you should definitely go for Toastmasters climbing, and you should definitely get yourself associated with such a nice group of people. So yeah, I'm definitely going to register as a member, and thank you each and everyone for such a lovely session, and I'm looking forward for more such sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinayak, for lovely feedback from your side, and I'd like to see you as a member in our club as soon as possible. Now I would like to guest Gunjan Agrawal. Please give me your feedback.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank Toastmaster Bela for recommending me such a great platform, because like I'm not very much proud of my speaking skills, and today I knew why. Because I can get insanely nervous when it comes to public speaking, and I'm looking forward to the day when hesitation, nervousness won't be a problem anymore. So yes, I love the meeting, and most importantly, I loved the table topic session where everyone gets a fair chance to speak. And I also like the fact that minute details like grammar and the filler sounds, timings, each and everything is being taken care of. So it was a lovely meeting, and yes, I'm looking forward to attend more of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Gunjan, for your feedback, detailed feedback. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to, Gabriel Mannat, please give your feedback.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bela. So I'd like to give some collective feedback for the whole meeting. First of all, the role of the TMOD was exceptionally well done. The I was not aware of email signatures, even though there is this option that comes in email when we recently sign in. There is an option to set up your e-signature, but I never did that. But surely after the meeting, that will be the first thing I'll be doing, and that will be every time I'll be writing my blog, which I maintain, or every time I'll be sending out some personal letter or note, that will be, the graphic will be there, that is generated by the email. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Anand, for that extra dimension you added. Moving on to the speaker one, I wasn't able to follow up with what he said, so I don't have anything to really comment upon. Moving on to the second speaker, the thought, the Gibson thought was in its own very robust, and I think his speech was in a whole very thought provoking. But I think I have one recommendation which could be worked upon highly, is that the voice modulation that was there in his speech wasn't that effective. I mean, he could have used some kind of a different tone for when he was changing his character, and a different tone when he was speaking, so as to give us and show the difference. Moving on to the evaluators, one thing, okay, the recommendations provided by each one of them were great, but I think following the CRCS approach is something that's always recommended. So please try following the CRC approach so as to encourage the speaker to come up once again in the future. Moving on to the table topics, all the speech topics that were there, they were really thought-provoking. The various topics thought of by our table topics master, they were variety and they were unique. So now I don't remember most, but the one topic that I remember was of Vinayaks, and I have one thing to comment upon. So there was this one line that Steve Jobs once said when he was quoting about this tagline, "Think different." And he specifically said, you always have to be a little different to buy an Apple computer. And I think each one of us needs to be a little bit more different to incorporate the products of Apple in our company. And that is something I have really, that was the best table topic, I thought, because whatever Vinayak spoke, all of it was related to me, because I have read a lot about him, and whatever he said was something that was credible and something that I too read a few days back. And yeah, and one last thing, uh, one more thing that I quite recently read was that that when Steve Jobs was there and when he had joined his company again, they were starting to make iPod. Okay, and generally right now at that time, the iPods that we had, they were very big in size. And Apple, Steve Jobs' idea, and the Apple company was the first company to make the smallest iPod. And then there is this very fascinating dialogue that's there, but I wouldn't want to share it right here because there's less time. So maybe you can go search on Google about. I thought I just searched. Personal branding ideology by Steve Jobs, and then there was this very famous ideology that has always been famous and will always be famous. So that's all for the table topics, and all the other role players were also very brief with their roles. And I particularly like the role of the language evaluator, because she pointed out and looked for really great words, and she had a great compilation of her evaluation. So thank you so much, and it was yet again another pleasure for me to attend yet another amazing, fantastic meeting like always. Thank you.
Thank you, Mannat, for your valuable feedback. Now I would like to Toastmaster Anand, please share the certificate for the day.
Yeah, Toastmaster developers.
So best table topic speaker goes to Toastmaster Abhishek Rathod.
Thank you.
And best table topic speaker goes to Toastmaster Devashish Pandey. Best speaker goes to Toastmaster Alok Kuju. Best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Jaya Ganguly.
There is again a tie. Toastmaster developer is again a tie with each evaluators. Both evaluators from the certificate.
Best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Roli Sina also. Best auxiliary role player goes to Toastmaster David.
Thank you so much.
And best role player goes to Toastmaster Sajal Jain.
Congratulations to all for the next. Thank you.
Now is the time for group fee. I would like to request Toastmaster Abhishek, please take the group fee. And I would like to request, please switch on our video, everyone.
Make a line. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining today's meeting. Thank you.